This video is a genetics project for the Bio30 class of Miss Luco. MS stands for multiple sclerosis, and it is considered a neurological or an autoimmune disease. It affects women more often than men, and is usually diagnosed between age 20 and 40. MS is different for everyone and has different types. It can affect sensitivity, coordination, mobility, hearing, vision, and can even affect decision-making and reasoning. A good example of what MS can do to someone is my mom. She's only had MS for 13 years, but 13 years ago she could walk on both feet. Now she has to have assistance to stand up and cannot put a foot in front of the other. She also has trouble picking things up, holding on to them, or lifting slightly heavy objects. Gripping is also very difficult and makes it very hard to write. A few theories about the cause of MS are that it is an immune disease, a lack of vitamin D, a virus, or genetic. Recently, MS has been connected to CCSVI. CCSVI stands for chronic cerebrospinal venous insufficiency. CCSVI is stenosing malformations of venous drainage from the brain, most likely the IGVs or azygos vein, which runs down the spine. To put it simply, when it doesn't drain properly, lesions start to form in the brain. Lesions that can really damage your mobility and coordination. There is a treatment for CCSVI, but I won't be getting into that because by media standards, it's controversial. Now, I don't agree with that, and if you want to learn more, I have links in the description, or you could just type in CCSVI or liberation into Google, and you're sure to find something. Stenosing is a constriction or narrowing of a duct or passage, a stricture. But if you were to open those veins, the blood would drain, and it's theorized that the MS would no longer progress. There is also a chance that you could gain your mobility and coordination back, but there is no guarantee. Stenosing is the cause for trigger finger, a disease that limits mobility and coordination in the fingers and hands. Trigger finger just happens to be genetic, so is stenosing. Any individual who is not related to someone with MS has a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting it. Someone who has a second-degree relative like a grandparent has a 1 in 100, 1 in 40 if you have a parent or a sibling, and 1 in 4 if your identical twin has it. They've also found that people with the IZ7R protein are more likely to have MS. Certain people with these genes are 20 to 30% more likely to have MS. Put it this way, if the overall risk of MS in the United States is 1 in 1,000, and you have these genes, your risk becomes 1 in 770. So because of all of this, could you say that MS is genetic? Being able to tell whether diseases like MS are genetic can help improve the lives of many people. It is imperative that we do more research on genetics with MS and CCSVI. I know there are a lot of people who will have something to add to this, and so you are allowed to leave comments, but I cannot change the video past a certain point because it is just a project. All my sources are in the description and at the end of the video in the bibliography. If you have any questions, I would suggest that you either look them up or look on these links, but you are allowed to ask.